There we go. Yes. We'll come back to somebody said, hi, you're looking so lovely. Ha. If only you had seen me 5 minutes ago. Yeah, running around in the new house and all of that stuff. But yeah, we are the master of quick shift. So hello, everyone, and welcome. And the topic today being Shiva. So I am first guided to read out this beautiful message. I had put it up a few days ago, and this is all about Shiva. So the message being, who am I? The Shiva that you worship, the one that you surrender to. Who am I? The one that drinks the poison from the churn. Fearless am I, the one who destroys the world with a glance. Ruthless am I, the one who is moved by every tear from the heart. Compassionate am I, the one who loves you more than you do. Your beloved am I. No, I am not the body. I am not even the soul. I am not your heartbeat. I am simply your core. When all else is stripped off from you, when you are bare in your own eyes, when no shame, no name, no game remains, when nothing else is, then I am. In my splendor, then I am you. Look within. Are you you or are you me? I am there always. Can you touch me? Can you touch your core? Can you let go of your body, your attachment, your belonging to this earth? Because this is not where you belong. You belong to me. I am your essence. I am Shiva. So beautiful. This amazing piece received a couple years ago and then came back again for me to take a look at just a few days ago. And today, as I was getting ready to do this webinar on being Shiva, it came that I should read this out for all of you to be able to see who you are and what it is to be Shiva. What would it be for you to be Shiva? So here we go. So here's the beautiful thing. We always talk about, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. I say this all the time. I am Shiva, I am Shiva, and you are Shiva too. And then you think about it and you say, I don't feel like Shiva. I don't know what Shiva is, but Shiva looks extremely powerful. Shiva looks extremely, large, too large for it to be just me. I'm just a simpleton in one tiny little body. How can I be Shiva? And when you are sitting in that space, indeed, you are simply the body. And when we are in the body form, whenever we are in the body form, we get to play with duality. Duality, the separation, this is me and this is you. And when you come from that place of separation, all of the experiences that are meant to be from the duality, those experiences will come to you. The experiences of separation, the experiences of love to somebody outside, the experiences of anger, separation in the form of guilt, separation in the form of fear. Because only when you fear the outside, you will feel the separation from them. And you sit in this tiny little body and thinking that you are this. Why do you do so? Because you have come to earth to experience this. You have come to earth to experience the frequencies of separation, the frequencies of the mind. And then what happens? And then there is a time when you are done. When you are done with the frequencies of the mind and you are now ready to go back to know, to go back to recognize who you are. In that place, somebody will tell you about your vast presence. It could be somebody who speaks like me, speaks energy. It could be somebody who speaks spiritual. It could be somebody who is, engaged with the energy. Somebody would be a healer and they will tell you, you are energy. When you begin to operate from that space of energy, when you know that you're not just this body, you're not even just this emotion, you are not just this, you are the vast self. When you begin to understand that, it's not that it is going to stay with you every moment. It cannot stay with you simply because on earth, we still hold the body. But whenever you come into the awareness of who you are the energy space, no matter what frequency. The frequency could be rejection, the frequency could be peace. Is Shiva only the frequency of peace, or is Shiva every frequency there is? Every once in a while, when I talk about Shiva and being Shiva, and I say, when we are in the frequency of non-judgment, when nothing is to be judged, when all is just is, in that moment, we are experiencing our Shiva through our Shiva-ness. In that moment, we are able to see who exactly we are, because we are not operating from the body self. We are actually able to see the body self operating from some frequency. We become the observer. We become that large Shiva that is watching an experiencer at play. A puppeteer, if you might please, watching the puppet at play. Who is the puppet at play? We are in the body. Who is the puppeteer? We are in the energy. In that energy space, as we become more and more the puppeteer, we are able to move. We're able to move the frequencies as we like them to be. We're able to move our experiences as we like them to be. We want to experience joy right now. Outside, whatever is happening is showing me not so much joy. Can I shift my needle and come to joy? The minute I become aware that I am operating from a frequency and I wish to move to a B frequency, not because I'm afraid of that frequency. This frequency is me and that is me also. However, because I have the choice. Whenever we have the choice, it's like 5 flavors of ice cream in front of you. Do you have to eat vanilla if you don't like it? No, you can choose chocolate if chocolate is there with you. You can choose to eat that. And that's all it is. We're not afraid of vanilla. We are just simply choosing chocolate. And so similarly, when we come from the energy space, none of these energies make us fearful. We simply just acknowledge that, this is just a frequency and I have the power to change it. When I sit in that power to change it, when I know that I have the power to change it, in that moment, I am Shiva. So many of you, when you're sitting and doing the releases, when you're doing the release, the first thing that you have to recognize is that it's just a frequency. And the minute you recognize that, you're already operating from that Shiva space, the Shiva, a frequency of non-judgment. And when the frequency itself is of non-judgment, whether the frequency is anger, or the frequency is guilt, or the frequency is joy or love, it is not being judged. It is not being judged because it just is. The frequency of non-judgment is the all-expansive frequency. Why? Because everything just is, and you are able to accept everything that just is. So Shiva, being in the Shiva space, being Shiva, is simply the moment when you are aware that you are not just this body, you are something far greater. All of the tools of awareness, including the simple tool that I put in front of you, saying every 2 hours, put an alarm. Every 2 hours, put an alarm to see where are you operating from? Which frequency are you operating from? If you put that alarm and the alarm rings and the alarm shows you that you are operating from fear space, what did you just do? You quit being just in the body and you stepped back and you became the energy. You became that power, that observer who is able to witness whatever the experience is going through, whatever the experience around you is. When I become that experience creator, when I become not just the experiencer who's sitting in the experience, but when I become the creator and the mover of the experience, I, in that moment, is Shiva. So when the alarm rings and you're able to look at yourself and see, okay, what space am I sitting in? And then you begin to release, or you begin the first step of allowance and acceptance, understand that you are the Shiva. Because right now, even though the frequency might have been of anger, in that space, you were the Shiva of anger. You were still Shiva. In your unconscious or the unaware space, you are still Shiva, but you are Shiva without knowing that you are Shiva. When we become aware of whatever space we are operating from, we stay Shiva, but now we are the aware Shiva. And that's the only difference. Each time you continue to be energy. It's not that if you don't know about it, you are not energy. And it's only when you know about it that you are in the energy space. No, it's not that at all. However, when you are in the energy space, you are an aware Shiva. You know what's happening. And from that space of knowing what frequency you are playing in, you are able to transform that energy. You have the power and you sit with that power. The power is not in being able to move other people's lives. There is nobody else that exists. For whoever wants to exercise their power on other people, and they say, okay, this seat of mine, I'm the president of a country today, I'm the president of a company today, I'm the chairman of whatever it is, I'm the ruler of my house, wherever you think that your power is coming from, if it belongs to a seat, if it doesn't belong to you, if it belongs to a seat, then that's not your true power. The power belongs to the seat. You, as you sit in over there and you experience that power and you think that you can do everything, you can just get by with everything. So many times we see that happen, that people who are so powerful that maybe nothing can shake them. And suddenly the smallest of thing shakes them. The smallest of, the leaf will move, and then something, somewhere, somebody will show them that what they have is an external power. They haven't still come to the place of the real power. The real power sits within us. It is the power of love. It is the power of love. And it's not about loving anybody else to begin with. It is to start with the love of the self. When we are sitting in the love space, love of the self, we have so many stories about Shiva. Shiva did this and Shiva did that. Shiva ruined the entire, brought calamity to this place, or aankh se dekh ke bhasm kar diya, got angry and then annihilated somebody, destroyed something. And we hear all of this. And through all of that, we simply love Shiva more and more. Why do we love Shiva's stories so much? He won't even listen to anything. He has no judgment. He'll give anything away to anybody. He'll give boons to people. And then, then he'll be running away from the same people that he gave boons to. And why do we love Shiva so much more and more? Because he sits in the pure love for himself. And it doesn't take too many, he just, every time you look at all the other gods that we worship and how nicely they are dressed and everything. And then we have Shiva just with a loincloth, and then he sits over there on a mountain, and such a beautiful Adi Yogi, image that we create in our mind. And why is it that we keep loving him so much more and more? Only because Shiva is the true love for the self. And so in the moment now, just operating from that place, what is the separation between you and Shiva? Simply that you don't think of yourself to be Shiva. Simply that you don't acknowledge, recognize your own presence. Simply that you sit so much in the body space. The minute we begin to sit in the energy space, the minute everything else clears, and me and my reflections, that's all that exists everywhere. You sit in the space of Shiva. That's all it takes. If you have judgments towards yourself, the more we release those judgments, the more we become non-judgmental towards the self, we become that Shiva space. And the outside, if there's any judgments towards the outside, they will automatically begin to drop, because there is nothing outside. Everything that's outside is simply a reflection of the within. The more judgments we hold ourselves for ourselves, the farther we are moving from that Shiva Tattva, the farther we are moving from recognizing who we truly are. We are, as the message said, we are when everything else has been stripped from that space that you think it's your body, you think this is your life, you think this is earth, and you think this is what you are playing out over here. None of that. When all of that, that name, shame, everything has been, removed, when all of the bareness remains, that part, when you're able to see in your true form, that Shiva self will come out to you. What is our true form? As I say to everybody, on this place with the body experiencer, all that we get to do is move from frequency to frequency. We are not a character. We are a character at a moment in time when we are playing in the body. We start to define ourselves. Oh, I am somebody who is lazy. I'm somebody who is productive. I'm an artist. I'm an engineer. We start to define ourselves. And that is the narrowing of the scope, getting into the character, becoming an experiencer. However, when we simply recognize that even as an artist, I go through 10 different emotions every day. Those are what I am in the day. I am not an artist. I am not an engineer. I am the frequency that I am today. That frequency might be fear. That frequency might be joy. But when we become aware that we are not anything else but except a bundle of frequencies, and it's just it. So many frequencies, so many flavors of ice creams. We get to choose when we are aware. In that space, when we can see our own energy, that is when we become Shiva. That's the meaning of the creator and the destroyer. Every moment we are creating. What are we creating? Well, if I'm creating joy for myself, I am the creator. I'm the Shiva of joy. As I'm creating more joy, I'm probably destroying some sadness, some anger. So I am in that moment destroyer of that frequency and creator of that frequency. All that is happening is a transformation. But who can transform? Only the one that is aware. Transformations happen all the time, in our lives as well. But when we become aware, transformations are the name of the game. From fear to fearless, from hate to love, from guilt to love, from everything to love, that becomes the game. The more that becomes the game, being a Shiva, that's what it means. So simple. Just strip off everything that you've picked up along the way that separates you, that puts you into the frequencies of separation. And simply each time, I'm not saying it will not happen, because we came here to take the separation frequency experiences. It's going to happen. But the awareness is what moves the needle. So the more and more we can become aware. So each of the tools, and again, I started with the positivity process where I say, put an alarm for every 2 hours. And the minute you put the alarm, the minute you're able to see what frequency you are in that moment, you are the Shiva of that frequency. You are the owner in that moment of that frequency. Can you change? Absolutely. You can change all the time. Any questions for me at this point, whether related to this or not related to this? Anybody has any questions? Okay, I don't see any questions. So this is going to be now meditation today. Take a deep breath in and release. A deep, deep breath in and simply exhale. Exhale as if you are just emptying yourself from every thought, just blankness in this moment, just blankness in this moment. Every voice around you, every noise around you is simply taking you to more and more blankness. You're focused totally on the blankness and on nothing else around you. Your body, every awareness of your body movement, simply taking you more and more into blankness. Just completely emptying your body, emptying yourself. And watch yourself, watch your body, and let the body shrink. Just imagine that your body, as is right now, is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. In your closed eyes, imagine as if your body is shrinking, completely shrinking. It's become a few feet, and then a few inches, and then a few centimeters, and then tiny, 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 till it's become a dot. Your body is just a tiny little dot. And from that space, that dot itself vanishes. Yes, you are in the body, but in that image, you have left your body. You are space. Space, empty space, this vast space. That is who you are. In that space, everything exists. It is space that connects everything together. And now you are that space. See yourself as empty space. There is this whole universe on earth itself. People are moving around, and what's around them? There is space, and that space is you. In the universe, there are planets and stars and all of this action happening. But between every planet, every star, in between galaxies, what exists? Space. And you are that space. Somewhere you feel light, somewhere you feel dark, somewhere you feel nothing. But through all of it, you are the space. That is how vast you are. You are the space. This space, this empty space that judges nothing. It experiences nothing. It is around the experiencers. However, it is just empty. It is just empty. It vibrates, it resonates, and it's just empty. And you are this empty, blank space in the moment. In this moment, feel the large, vast expanse that you are. Open your hands. Feel the power in this body while your closed eyes are still experiencing the space. Your closed eyes don't see you. You are that infinite. You are the infinite. And yet, through the body, as you open your arms, feel that vastness through the arms. You will feel all of that energy vibrating in your arms. You will feel all of that energy that's vibrating through you, through your arms. Feel that energy. That is you. That is you in the body. And now you are space. Empty space. You are. And now through the empty space, visualize the Kailash, a huge mountain out of nowhere. Just visualize the Kailash. And on Kailash, you stand in a body form. On top of Kailash, you stand in a body form. In that body form, you recognize yourself. Take a look as you stand on top of Kailash. Take a look around you. This is your space, your universe. Everywhere your eyes go, all that you see is yours. Everything belongs to you, and yet nothing belongs to you. Take a look. You are in everything that you see. You are the core of everything that you see. You are the core. You are the essence. You are Shiva. Feel the power. Feel the power as you acknowledge your existence as Shiva. Shiva in the energy form and Shiva in the body form right now as you see yourself looking at the universe on top of Kailash. There is nothing that is not you. In everything, you exist. Own the universe. Own every experience that you go through. Just own it, because there is nothing, no one that is not you. The experiences that you are receiving in the body, the one who experiences here is you. But the one who is giving you those experiences is also you. Oneness everywhere. Looking all around, recognizing yourself, your vibration, your energy in everything around you. You are the source. Shiva, you are. You are the source. Once again, letting go of the body form on Kailash, letting go of that and moving back to the energy form, the empty space everywhere, taking your place through everything, the entire universe. You are permeating the entire universe. You are in everything. You are everywhere. And now, choosing to take another body form, to come back to where you're sitting. You're choosing to do so. You are the infinite that can create anything, can destroy anything, can transform anything. And from that space, you have chosen this body form of yours. This body form is your choice. This body form you have chosen. As Shiva, you could choose anything. You had all the powers and you chose you. You chose you in this body form. How beautiful this form of yours. How amazing this creation of yours. Coming to this body form, becoming this body again, but knowing that this body form was the highest choice of the Shiva that you are. It was the biggest boon that you created for yourself. To experience the earth, you created yourself. On this earth, you created yourself. And simply loving this self that you created, loving this self, being thankful for this self that you created, being so thankful for this energy, for this body, for the experiences, for the experiencer, and for the creator. So thankful. Thanking yourself as the energy, thanking yourself as the body. I love myself. I am Shiva. I am all there is. I am in everything. I am in empty space too. I am everywhere, but most of all, on this earth, I am in this body. I am Shiva. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Stay in this space. Enjoy. Enjoy this space. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you.